Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. I'm going to be doing my own review of the Byrna SD. I'm going to leave all the technical specs down below and links to various stuff that you can purchase as well as the gun. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and show you what I ordered and the first impressions and ease of use, right? And show you how to use it, because when I first got it, I mean, yeah, even if you're familiar with the CO2 gun, this one's different. It's not like you load it from the bottom and then you puncture it. This one you load it from the front, and it's supposed to be punctured as soon as you pull the trigger. And so yeah, let me just start with the CO2 cartridges. So I went ahead and bought some aftermarket ones. So this is the Byrna CO2, and this is the Seltzer Cartridge, right? You guys might see these on Amazon. I'm gonna have the links down below. These work. The only thing is that they're just slightly, just a little bit. I mean, if you put them side by side, you can see that the aftermarket is just coming up just a little bit over this one. I don't know if you can see it clearly. Let me see if I can get it to focus there. Yeah. But yeah, it is. I'm just letting you know that it is. It comes up a little bit like that. And so the front of the gun, so when you screw the front cap in, it's not 100% flush, right? You can see that. But it works. The rule of thumb is whatever CO2 you load in the front, it's gonna work pretty much. And so how you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Let me just go through what's in the kit. So of course you have the gun, you got the CO2 cartridges. So the kit that I got has the pepper projectiles, the Kinetic, and the regular Kinetic. And so the difference between all of them, of course the pepper is just regular pepper, because they also have the Byrna Max, which is I guess a more intense chemical than just regular pepper. Then the Kinetic is if you want to practice, I guess, against somebody or practice outside, because these just break down. You don't have to go looking for the balls. The Kinetic Projectiles, these are solid, they don't break down, so if you shoot them out in the environment, you want to pick them up after, because they're not going to break down like the Ecos. So yeah, those are the differences. Now the Kinetic Rounds, all these are expensive, right? But you can find different replacements online. The pepper and the Ecos I recommend getting from Byrna, because obviously they'll just slide in the barrel. I'm sure there's other stuff that works good, but I would just, it's Byrna, and they did their research and it works best with their gun. So what I did get aftermarket was the Kinetic Projectiles, right? Which will be just solid little black balls. Let me show you here in this extra clip right here. So yeah, you get two clips. You get one in the gun, and then you get one off to the side. This thing doesn't come off, or at least I don't know how it comes off, but yeah, it just stays in there. It's just a little emblem, logo. So yeah, so the Kinetic Rounds that are aftermarket, so you can see, I'll put the link in the description. So this is just a solid plastic ball, and yes, it really hurts. I didn't get hit with it, but I can tell just the way it hits this pillow that I've been shooting at, which I'm gonna go ahead and give you a demonstration indoors to give you, show you how it hits and how loud it is. But yeah, the Kinetic Rounds are really good. The way I have this clip arranged, and you can do everything how you want to do it on your own, but I have 3 Kinetic Rounds, and then I have 2 pepper balls, right? So if an intruder were to come through or come at you, you can hit them with 3 of the Kinetics and then 2 peppers, and yeah, that'll stop somebody, of course. And yep, let me show you how to load the CO2 in the front. Before I do that, let me just point out one more thing about the gun, right? So everything is high quality, right? It feels really good. Like, it feels really good in the hand. I can't tell you that enough, right? And the honeycomb grip is really good. It makes a difference to the feel, how it feels in your hand. Now, the only thing I noticed about the gun, and I'm gonna try to catch this on the camera as good as I can, but do you see like these little gaps here, right? You see how it's tight here, and then it opens up to like a gap, and then even here, let me see if I could catch that. So you could see it's tight here, and then it gets a little, you know, like a gap right there, right? So you know, also it's in the back right here too. You could see that. You see, you could definitely see that. You know, it's just, I don't know if I got a faulty gun. I don't know if all of them are like this, but it works and it's solid and it doesn't feel like it compromises the quality. But yet and still, if you pay $500 for a gun, right, you don't want to see something like this. I mean, this gives you the impression like it was 3D printed. Now, I'm not knocking the Byrna. It's an excellent gun. But those are just, you know, I'm here to point out everything. I notice everything, right? So the trigger, I like the trigger, you know, it feels solid. Everything on it feels solid. The safety doesn't feel like it's going to go bad. Feels good. Easy to press, right? And then clip release is right here, this button right here, right? So as you can see, a round came out, but sometimes the round will get stuck in here, and then you just push down this little thing and then it releases. If there's a round stuck in the barrel, it'll release it and just it'll let it fall out, right? So anyways, let me just go ahead and push this back in, and let me take the other clip. So what I want to show you is how to load the CO2. I already have one in here, but in the front, so basically I was wondering like where's the tool to open this when I first got it, and I didn't even know that it's actually here, this little stub that's at the bottom of the clip, right? So here's looking at the clip, so the tool is right here at the bottom of the clip. So you're gonna take this tool, right, just like that, and then you're gonna put it in there, and then you're gonna go ahead and unscrew, right? And then as it gets loose, you could go ahead and do it with your hand. And then it just slides out like that. And that's it. It's pretty much how you load it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the Byrna one in there, because I've just been wanting to hold on to it for the video. So I used the other one that it came with, and the holes pretty much look the same, you know, like the piercing holes when you look at how it pierced the aftermarket and the Byrna. So yeah, let me finish screwing this. Now there's two ways, so you don't want to over tighten it. Here, let me tighten it about that. All right. So there's two ways to get this thing going, right? So while it's in safety, you can pull the trigger and it'll pierce the CO2 and it's ready to go, and then you can put it in fire and start firing at, you know, full speed. Because when you fire on the first shot and pierce, right, like let's say you didn't want to pierce it on safety. Let's say you just wanted a straight fire. So basically you pull the trigger, it's going to pierce the CO2 and fire at the same time. I just want to tell you that that first shot like that isn't going to be at full speed, but I would imagine that if something went down, you really wouldn't want to care about that. You'd want to just put it in fire and just start letting off shots, right? So for the sake of practicing, yeah, I guess do it, you know, safety, pierce it first. But obviously if you're active, you're just going to want to just put it in fire and just let it go. And that's it. It's ready to go just like this. I'm going to go ahead and angle the camera differently so that way I can show you just how loud it is and just how hard it hits into this pillow I'm going to shoot for you guys. Alright guys, here we go. I just switched to my iPhone from my DSLR, so I'm not sure how different the footage might look and the sound might be, but it was just easier for me to do because of also the focus range, right? So here we go. I'm gonna take it off of safety, right? Put it to fire. And so yeah, it's not punctured, so it's gonna puncture and fire on the first shot. So yeah, let me go ahead and reload it, and I want to go ahead and show you some other accessories I got. Alright guys, so yeah, here are the other accessories. So yeah, I'm going to leave links for this, and for this. So this is a laser and a flashlight. I'm going to go ahead and mount it on the gun. This right here is a ammo case, which comes in handy. So you basically slide it over the clip like that. And that prevents the balls from coming out when you touch the top of the clip, because when you touch the top, those things can just come flying out, right? So this protects it, and it stops all of the balls from sliding out accidentally, right? So yeah, let me just show you this laser real quick, right? It has 2 buttons on each side right by your finger. It's awesome. I'm gonna go ahead, let me mount this on the Byrna and show you exactly what I'm talking about. Alright guys, so the way this is basically going to work, you're going to take a screwdriver, you're going to unscrew that screw right here, and then you have 3 notches, right? I'm going to use the second notch for this particular laser and flashlight, and that's it. It just comes on like that, and then you're going to go ahead and tighten it. And look at that, guys. Like, look how perfect that looks, right? And so, like I was telling you, I'm gonna go ahead. Let me go ahead and load up these rounds, and then I'm gonna show you what I was talking about with the buttons. Let's go. So you see, you got the 2 buttons on the side, and then you got 2 buttons on this side. So that makes it very convenient. So if you want to hit the top button, you got flashlight. Look how bright that is, right? And then if you hold down this flashlight button, it starts strobing, which that gives like a blinding, it basically just, you know, throws people off. Hold it again, solid, push it again, turn it off. And then the bottom button is the laser. And then that's it, all you got is a green laser. And so yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So that was 3. So that's 28 shots we got off total, with the last 3 shots being the weakest. So yeah, that's not bad, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and unscrew the top, and yeah. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and unscrew this. Let me just show for all the curious first timers out there that have never done this or worked with CO2. So yeah, you're just gonna go ahead and just start unscrewing it slowly. And you hear the pressure releasing. Now, if you do not finish the entire cartridge, it won't be this easy. It'll be a lot harder to unscrew it. So if you want to have the easiest experience unscrewing this, just finish the cartridge. You can fire it blank into the pillow, and that's it. You just slide it out, and yep, so you can see the hole there that it pierced. And that's about it. And it's important to note that these burners, even though they are non-lethal, you can't have it in every state apparently. And I'm gonna go ahead and list that on the screen. So yeah, but other than that, everywhere else, you can carry this pretty much anywhere. Not everywhere. You know, I still wouldn't be brave enough to take it you know, to a police station or a courthouse or anything like that, anything government official. But everywhere else, I could imagine you could put this in your pouch and just carry it with you. And of course, you know, using this over something lethal is going to save you in court costs and problems and possibly a night in jail, because when things happen and things go down and you give your statement, if there's anything, you know, relative to a real gun that you didn't follow properly in procedure, like, you're going to have problems. This, you're not going to have problems as much as that. We'll note, if you decide to just pull this out on somebody and just use it as you feel, you know, that's battery. You still have to put yourself kind of in the same scenario as if your life is being threatened. You know, someone has a weapon, they're trying to break in your house, etc. This would be a better option. Now, obviously, if someone has something lethal, you're not going to want to use this. But if you are up against somebody, I would imagine in public, and they had something lethal, you would have to get off your shots a lot faster than they would. In some instances, let's say you're in the car and carrying this and someone pulls a gun out on you and you're driving, I wouldn't even try to fight back with this. I would just leave and go, right? So you want to be wary of the scenarios. Also, law enforcement, other people in general too, can mistake this as a gun. So if you pull this out on somebody, expect that the other person might pull a real firearm out on you, and so you would have to use this really fast, right? But yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you found this video informative and interesting, and a little more than some of the other videos. There were some good videos out there, but I noticed that they didn't go through a couple things. But yeah, guys, so until next time, if you have any questions, if I missed anything, drop it in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and until next time.